Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and today we're going to be looking at the T29, the American Tier 7 heavy tank, and this is a fantastic tank. In my opinion, it is possibly the best Tier 7 tank in the game. It's got a phenomenal turret, its hull armour at the front isn't too bad if you can angle it properly, and it has a pretty good gun. So let's talk about the gun first. Now, to get to the T29, you can either go through the Sherman Jumbo or you can go through the M6. I would recommend going through the M6, and when you do, what you want to do is unlock this 90mm. It's better than the 76mm use on the M6 anyway, so you know, I would recommend going for it on the M6. But if you unlock it on the M6, then when you get to the T29, instead of having to grind it through with a tier 6 medium tank gun, a 76mm, you can put the 90mm straight on and grind out what you need for the turret upgrade and the engine, and the 105mm using that 90mm, and it makes the grind a lot less painful. I would not come to it through the Sherman Jumbo. Now let's have a look at the guns itself. So you've got the 90mm, which is a carryover from the M6, 7.89 rounds a minute, 160 penetration, 240 damage, 243 on your premium rounds, 2.29 seconds aiming time, and 0.37 accuracy. Now, the turret that you basically get the same turret armour on both turrets. The only thing you get upgraded, I think, is the view range. Yep, from 330 up to 380, which is quite respectable. Your turret traverse is 26 degrees, and your track traverse goes up to just 25 degrees, which again is quite respectable for a tier 7 heavy. It's not as good as the Russian tier 7 heavy, the IS, the IS, which I think gets slightly better track and turret traverse. In fact, it does get a lot better. But you get a fantastic turret on the T29, and we'll have a look at that in a minute. The 105mm gun, 2.29 second aiming time, 0.41 accuracy, so not the most accurate, but it definitely works. 5.26 rounds a minute, 198 pen, which is fantastic. 320 damage, which is quite respectable. In fact, I think the only thing higher is the IS with that 122mm. 245mm of penetration on your premium rounds, 53 on your high explosive. You get an 800 horsepower engine, which powers it along quite respectably actually. Top speed of 35, I want to say, 35 kilometers an hour, 1,250 hit points. Now we'll start looking at the armour. You've got 102mm on the front of your hull, which is quite well angled, although you do have a machine gun weak spot there. Your lower plate is quite a small target to hit, and I don't have the armour figures for that. 76mm on the side and 51mm on the rear. So you can side scrape in this, but try not to give anything the sides and your rear, and if you can hide your hull all together, then that's all the better. Now your turret, which is this special sort of feature on the T29, you have 279mm on the front of your turret, 127 on the side, 102 on the rear. Now things can and will penetrate the side and rear of your turret, but if they can get around the back of your tank, they'll more than likely go for your hull anyway. From the front, if you can get this thing hull down or coming up over a slope, because it has got really good gun depression, I think it's minus 10 degrees, you are virtually bulletproof, especially if there's no artillery in the match. About the only place you can penetrate the turret from the front is that very small target of the commander's hatch at the back, and if you're face hugging an opponent, it is very, very hard to hit that commander's hatch. The viewfinders you can see there, which are the difference between the two turrets on the side, are no hit zones, so even though it will show that you can penetrate them, it will do no damage whatsoever when you hit them. And like I say, the way that you play this thing is, I mean, you know, in towns and stuff you can side scrape in it as you would in many other heavy tanks, but if you can get this hull down or on a ridge line where you're hiding your hull and you're using your gun depression, like I say, you are virtually bulletproof. I cannot think of anything that you can come up against in a T29 that can penetrate your turret from the front. In fact, no, I can't think of anything at all. Now, like I say, comparing it to the other tier 7 heavies, really the French heavies, they're a different animal altogether. They are a breed of their own. You've got the IS with 175 pen, so a lot less, and 390 alpha damage, so, you know, 70 more on that. And then you've got the Tiger at 203 penetration and 240 damage. It's more or less a 90mm, it's an 88 to be precise, but it has got a lot better rate of fire at, I think, around, in fact, let's just go and have a check. I want to say it's about 8 point something rounds a minute. 8.96, so nearly 9 rounds a minute. Although you have got the IS beaten, which I believe is about 4.3 rounds a minute, if memory serves. 4.8 rounds a minute, so memory didn't serve, but it wasn't too far off. And I think that's about it. Oh no, skill set. Right, I've got Brothers in Arms, Track Repair, and I'm learning repairs again. Brothers in Arms because, well, this crew was from another tank and I just stuck them in this when I bought it. So I think I just finished it off and put Brothers in Arms on to try and increase my rate of fire, because the more shells you can put out of this thing, the better. I then trained up repairs. When that was fully done, I swapped it out for the Track Repair perk, because they're only effective at 100%, and started learning repairs again. My ammo loadout: 38 armor piercing, 10 APCR, and 15 high explosive for the lightly armoured targets such as CDCs, artillery, light tanks, Hellcats, that sort of thing that you'll be coming up against. Or if you can get the rear of a lot of the vehicles, you can penetrate with your high explosive on this and do whopping 440 damage, I think it is. Equipment, I've gone for a vertical stabilizer because it just increases that aiming time, keeps it more accurate. I've gone for a gun rammer to try and increase the reload, and I've gone for vents because, well, it just increases just about everything on the tank, and with Brothers in Arms it's even more effective. Consumables, I've got a premium, well, consumables, you can really go for what you want on it. I've got a premium first aid kit, standard fire extinguisher, standard repair kit, and I think that's about it. And I think it's about time really to get into some gameplay and show you how this thing handles. So the first matchup is a tier 8 standard battle on Ruinberg, and the T29, yeah, personally I think it can hold its own in any tier match. I really do. Now, another way of playing this tank, which I forgot to mention in the garage, is especially against stuff that hasn't got particularly good gun depression, Russians and Germans, I'm looking at you, is to get right up in their face and just face hug them, just straight up into them. They can't get down to shoot at your hull. All you give them to shoot at is the front of your turret, and you can just pound away on them until they die, well, until they're dead. And it is quite a fun way to play, actually, just bullying other tanks. Now, light tank has gone on a sewer scout run, so I'm going to take advantage and get a shot in at artillery, and there's a Hellcat over there. Managed to get one into him, take off over half his health. And he's not moving yet. I'm waiting for my reload. Can I get another one into him to finish him off? Yes, I can. Lovely. First kill of the game. Well, my first kill of the game. Now, I'd actually made a mistake here. On Ruinberg War, I like to rush up this outer this outer road of the town in the T29, because there's plenty of rubble you can get hauled down behind. And there's an enemy Tiger over there. Hide in my hull as best I can. If you do get caught out in the open, just try and angle it roughly with your gun over the inside corner of your tracks, and it's possibly the best angle you can get. I might be wrong on that. Let me know your opinion in the comments. Miss the shot of the AMX-12T, I don't let it aim enough. Right, let's see what other mischief we can cause. There's the Tiger again. Managed to get another shot into him. You do have to be careful coming up this road though, to make sure that nothing's outflanking you on the crossroads, because you can take a lot of hits from up in that direction if you're not careful. Right, the Tiger's retreated, so I'm going to try and work my way around there. See what damage I can do. Artillery's gone. See, there you go. outflanked on the crossroads. And I was taking shots from that Jagdpanther and from that CDC. Managed to get one into the Jagdpanther as he disappears, but he knocks my tracks off. Does a bit more damage. I've got myself in a bad position. My tracks are up, and I managed to finish off the Jagdpanther. I'm having trouble with English today. That CDC's at me. My tracks are back up, so I start to angle my hull a little bit, and the CDC goes. And there's another CDC down here. Back up a little bit. Should go through that pillar, and it does. And is he AFP? He very well could be. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be moving. Switch to high explosive. No, but oh no, somebody else hit him at the same time. Looked like I had penetrated and done a lot of damage. And he's finished off. So I swap back to my armor piercing. Carry on down this outer road. We seem to be cleaning up in the town. And I really didn't think I'd done much in this match. It didn't really feel like I had. Spinning around there because I was contemplating going back, but I think the only thing left alive is that enemy tiger. And like I say, I didn't really feel like I'd done a lot in this match, and it doesn't look like I've really done much. But when the results screen comes through, it's quite a pleasant surprise. Now, I really donked a shot at that tiger there, and I did get in the way of somebody, and I didn't realise I was doing that at the time, but they put one into the back of my turret. Get one into the side of the tiger, give him a little ram, not really doing much damage. But you'll see what I mean, I'm right up against him. Well, I don't think he ever got a shot off, but if he had, all he had was my turret to shoot at. And that's the first round. And like I say, I didn't really feel like I did too much, but nearly 3,500 damage and high caliber disagrees with me. So yeah, nice little round in a tier 8 matchup. Didn't really come up against many tier 8s though, but you really can bully your enemies in this tank. And he's just a big American bully. So I've got one more round coming up for you, and it's on Tundra. Oh, I did forget to mention how much I blocked. How much did I block? 4 hits received. Only one was non-penetration. Well, that was because I gave my flank to those CDCs. I wasn't careful enough. I was a bit careless in that match, to be honest. But you seem to be able to make a few mistakes in the T29 and get away with it. So that last match proved that you don't really have to do a great deal in the T29 to do a lot of damage and to earn a decent amount of XP. But this one on Tundra, it's another standard battle and it's a tier 7 match, so I'm top dog. And when you get into a tier 7 match in the T29, you can rub your hands together with glee, because it's probably going to be a good, fun match. So, seeing as I'm one of the top dogs, I'll head over to the hill on the eastern side where the heavy tanks normally go to duke it out, and you can see why. This hill does give quite a good view over a lot of the battlefield, and you know, it's a good sniping position. Now there's a friendly Scorpion there, and when I was playing this I thought he is being quite brave rushing on ahead so quickly. I'm assuming he was going to try and get an early spotting position on top of the hill. Now T1 Heavy caught my attention there, but he's ducked back down into cover. And yeah, looking back, that possibly wasn't the best thing to do. I think I should have carried on pushing up this hill. And if I had, maybe the Scorpion would have survived, but he was being quite suicidally aggressive in my opinion in a Scorpion. Especially against something as fast firing as a Knight, I think it is. So he gets finished off by the KV-3, so we just keep ploughing on and over, and it looks like the enemy team haven't sent much of a resistance this way. Whoops, Hellcat getting a bit keen to get in there. Oh, so we've got a Tiger P. Go for the lower plate. Managed to put one straight through. Tiger P's are notoriously tough from the front. But if you can get the lower plate with this, it'll go through. And if not, you've got that big Commander's cupola on top to put one through like I did just there. That's the problem with the Tiger P. You've got a fantastically strong sort of front of your hull, but in comparison a particularly, well, sort of a seemingly particularly weak turret, and I really donk a shot there. I shoot just as I hit a dip in the ground, and that'll teach me for firing on the move, and I get my tracks blown off for my mistake. Managed to get another one into the side of the Tiger P. He was trying to reverse, and that Sherman, well, it seemed like he was trying to protect the Tiger P actually. Oh, I managed to bounce one off the front of him, which would have finished him off, so just go for the cupola again. Can I get the reload and get him in time? Yes I can, and that's my first kill. Now let's try and deal with that Sherman jumbo. Nope, somebody already has, and a Sture Emil manages to put one into the front of my hull, so I return the favour. Start backing up and angling, he managed to get another one into my hull just as I'm turning. Again, that was possibly the wrong decision. I should have angled it the other way. But that's the advantage of looking back at these and watching them again. You can, well, you can learn from your own mistakes. Now, I think what I've seen on the map is, yeah, we've got a heavy pushing up on that hill that we've just come over. They've somehow managed to work their way right round behind us and start attacking that hill again. So, I've just come all the way across here and I've got to turn around and go all the way back again. Because if you look at the map, they're about to run into our base. Although you can't see them now, they've just popped off by telling you they're there. Right, well, coming back up this slope, it puts me in another strong position. It accentuates the angle on the front of my hull, and just look at the gun depression. Anything coming around there, they would have had to shoot at a very angled 102mm or the 279mm of my hull, of my turret. Let's see what it is. I think it's a T1 heavy. Yep. It fires into the ground, and one shot's enough to finish him off. Like I say, 320 average damage. I do like this 105mm on this. Oh, Tiger managed to put one into him. He gets another one into my hull. So, screw it, face hug. Get up there, right in his face. All he can shoot at is my turret, and I can just keep putting him straight through the front of his hull. He's only got 100mm of armour on there. I've got 198mm of pen. No problem. And that's him done for. Now I've got to get back and interrupt that cap, which is what I was actually on the way to do when that Tiger popped around the corner. But that's a very good way of showing you that sort of face-hugging, aggressive, bullying tactic in the T29. To get right up into them, and all they can shoot at is your turret front, and they are not going to get through it. Got 360-1H, fire on the move again, still not learned my lesson, and miss. I should get the reload though, I've just got to get one into him and hit him, and there we go, that's the cap reset. I think he got one into my hull as I came up there though, and he's coming to get round me. I don't know if that in my hull or my tracks, and somebody finishes him off just before I can. Right, that's the cap secure. There's one enemy tank left. And as quick as that, it can go from, you know, the pressure's on, you're being capped, there's a few enemy tanks left, down to, oh wait a minute, there's only one guy left, where is he? So we're going to go and try and find this rogue medium. While we're trying to find him, something else I would like to mention, I don't think I have yet, is don't get into the habit of what a lot of T29 drivers do, and when they find that golden hold down position, they don't move. They'll just sit there and they will not move for the entire match and just wait for things to come to them. It's not the way to play this tank. You try and put yourself in positions where you can get it hull down, or side scrape, or protect your hull, you know, or come up over a slope. You try and put yourself in those positions. Don't find a perfect one and then never leave it, because it's not really the way to play the T29, and you'll more than likely hinder your team rather than help them. Managed to get one into that T3485, and I think that was a mercy roll unless somebody else hit him at the same time. Don't quite manage to finish him off though. What a nice game. And like I say, rub your hands together with glee when you get into a tier 7 game, because you can just really have some fun in it. 2,382 XP, which is lovely. High caliber, second class mastery, defender, 3,164 damage done, just over 1,000 blocked, and a little bit of assisted. So there you go. I hope that's helped you with the T29, and I hope it's helped make a decision for you, sorry, over whether you'd actually like to go through that tank. But I would highly recommend it. Anyway, as always, if you like what you've seen, don't forget to like and subscribe, because it'll help the channel out. And as always, take care out there, and I will catch you next time. See you later.